Hello guys, welcome back to this new video. Sam Skilz here. Today we're going to talk about EQ, vocal EQ. I know if you have an experience with producing or recording with any DAW software out there, starting with the EQ, it can be really confusing and difficult at the beginning. But I think starting EQ in vocals is much easier because in my experience over here at the Academy, I have seen that students can really hear the changes that we made. So today I'm going to use Cubase, but of course you can use any DAW there, Logic, FL Studio, Abelton, anything you have there, it can be very useful. I'm going to break it down in 5 steps in a very easy way. These 5 steps are going to focus on 3 different panels. First, the low frequencies, everything that we have in the room, those noises that you don't need in your vocals anyway. AC, microphone, the dog that is barking outside, all these noises that you want to get rid of. That's the first thing you want to start with. Second, we're going to take the mud that we have in the mic and in the vocal as well. The third part will be focused on the medium, so we're going to boost a bit the vocal to stand them out from the global mix, adding a little bit more clarity, so you hear the vocal quite clear. And we will end up by cutting off all the high frequencies that you don't even hear anyway, and sharp a little bit the high frequencies. Follow me here and let's do this, guys. So before to get started, I would like to ask you guys if you would like to have more videos like this, subscribe, you know the drill, turn that like into blue and blah, blah, blah. Just make sure that this channel remains alive. So let's get started and follow me into the desk. Okay guys, for this tutorial, I'm going to use this project that I've been doing a few months back with the Cameron Ray on the vocals. The track has already been released and called Don't Stop Pushing. So I'm using here Cubase. Of course, you can use any DAWs out there, but I will show you just step by step, and you can find all these things in other DAWs like Logic Pro, FL Studio, Abelton, whatever. I mean, all the pro ones, they should have this, the plugins that we need to do the work that I'm going to do right now. So let's start with the track just to have an overview of the track, just a few seconds. Vocals on solo. One thing that you definitely need to do the work that we are going to do is parametric equalizer. Since you found this video, I'm assuming you were around your DAW recorded software. The best DAWs, they all have these EQ plugins. Don't worry about that. So I'm going to give you specific frequency bands to work in, but you will have to narrow this down and shift them a little bit slightly left and right. Depends on the vocals that you have, if they are male, female vocals, and also depends on how dense the space and the mix that you have. If you're doing podcasts, if you're doing a track, a full song will require more equalization on the vocals than a podcast. That's normal. So let's say here we're assuming that you're doing a track on a podcast. So first thing you do, we gotta look for a parametric equalizer. I'll select my channel over here. So in Cubase, you just need to go to Edit Channel Settings, click on it, and here you have your parametric equalizer. Here we have 4 band plus the low ends and high ends. So basically this is okay, but all the pro ones, they have a parametric equalizer with 8 bands. I'm going to use here 5 bands today, so I will need to work with the other one, but if you don't have it, that's okay. You just cut one of the bands that I'm going to work in, and you can just start with your classic parametric equalizer. So here on the insert, I added what we call the plugin frequency. You have it in Cubase Pro. This is 8-band equalizer, so it's give us more room to work in each different part. So first step, let's start by current low ends bass frequency. The first thing you do in any vocals track is to take away all this low bass frequency. This is where a lot of noise resides, like electrostatic, 60 hertz, and the whole rumbling from the mic, from the desk, the noise you get from the room, from the AC. Depends of if it's male or female vocals, which is not important because they all have some kind of these low frequencies. But it doesn't add anything to your mix. So you just get rid of them and make sure that you don't have them in your mix anyway. So on the left, on your parametric EQ, the leftmost band here will already be designed as a low end roll-off. Make sure it's activated. The shelf here is used as a cut, 24. Don't go low shelf or high shelf, just make sure that if I choose to 48, you see the difference here. So all these low ends, I'm just taking them out. Just keep it 24. I'm going to deactivate all the other bands at the moment, just to work one by one to make it more clear. So you see here, if I play my track, the vocals alone, I see the frequencies range where they're playing. So you see here a bit coming in here, so it has to go out. You probably don't hear the difference if it's there or not. I will mute it, so I will bypass the effect and add it. So make sure, guys, that you have a very nice headphones or like a proper monitors to hear these differences. You cannot hear that from the phone or from computer. Okay, so let's try it with. Without. So as you can see, it's just a little bit, so it's hard to hear. So I've been cutting all the frequencies until 80 hertz. Some people, they go to 90. I think 80 is just fine for most of the vocals. You're safe here, you're safe like a play. So put it on 80. Just, you see, I just changed it here to 80. Some they go to 90. Okay. So for the Q wide, I'll keep it here to 1. But I mean, you can go maximum to 0.7, 175 maximum. So you see here, you don't want to get a big boost just after this frequency that the boom, all the frequencies above that, they just pop up. Now that this is done, let's go to the next step. I will activate my second band to reduce the mod and the boominess. Without doubt, no matter how good your room acoustic environment, you accumulate some mod between 200 and 500 hertz frequency range. It may not be noticeable when you listen to them at the beginning, but after 10 to 20 mixes, I think you will start to hear that. So if I play the track here, so the mod is coming here, and then it pushes it down. So say no. So when the mod comes here, this push it down. Things would sound very unnatural if you boost or cut more than 6 dBs. I'm here like around 3.7. If you do more than 6 dBs, I think it means that your recording is quite bad, and probably you should redo your recording or try another sample or another vocals. You get to find the room size of the standard bedroom up to living room, like 250 hertz hasn't the main problem. It's not just 250, but the frequencies around it. Start with around 0.70 Q wide here, and you just play between it until you find the right spot. Not too wide, not too wide. Always keep it tight. If you can narrow down the problem frequency tighter, try up maximum to 1.20, but don't go much tighter. Okay, so let's see here now with and without. I will bypass.
I want your everything tonight. And oh, you got me hypnotized. I feel alive.
Okay, now that it says, let's go to step number 3, and we will add more presence to the vocals. So this is going to be around 5000 hertz First step adds more sense, like solidness to the vocals and more clearness. You can hear them like their presence and they're sitting on top of your mix. This is harmonical frequency, meaning it's above the core fundamental frequency of the vocals. I've been boosting 2.5 dBs. So you see here, 2.5, probably 3 maximum, I would say, with these vocals. And I keep to here 5 kilohertz. Start at 5 to probably be fine, but you might need to sweep up down between 4 to 5.5 to find the sweet spot. I'm putting here 2.8, that's maximum, I would say. We can even go a bit below and try to look for the sweet spot. So I will put the vocals.
And I won't bring you down. I'ma take you up. So come enjoy your life, baby.
You can see it here.
Live it now.
I will just boost a
Don't
bit
stop
more.
pushing up to me. Don't stop.
I used peak here and also here, of course, the peak, no left shift. So make sure to select these ones because that's very important. Okay, last and not least, adding some brightness to the vocals, adding some air, some sparkle. First, we want to add, of course, the sparkles and the air, which is mixing jargon to describe the sound of the air leaving the vocal's mouth, as well as the breathing out, and taking also some high-pitched characters. Second, we want to cut off all the highest frequencies that sits on the track. So this is the high frequencies, around 18,000, and this is the two bands actually I'm going to work. 8,000 here and 18,000. I mean, you can see here the band, the high roll off, I cut here 24. So you see here, up, this is the part I'm going to cut off. I'm using just a QI for 0.7, but I'm cutting everything. You can also cut 48, but 24 it's enough. I believe that in my track it doesn't have any frequencies out there in these vocals, but if you have too much, I mean, if there is anything there, it doesn't harm the EQ anyway. So you just make sure that you cut them off.
Don't stop.
I don't have anything here.
Pushing up to me.
The recording was quite clean.
Stop pushing my way. Don't.
And here we're going to use the shelf boost upper frequencies around 8,000 hertz. You won't do very much. Too much of the boost will add too much sharpness, which can really hurt if you have small speakers or a small room. You don't want to hurt the ears of people like singing the song. So you got to be very careful. I don't boost more than 1 to 1.5 dB. I sit here on 8K, so the wide I will keep it just 1.0. So we will try with the mix and we'll see. And of course the high shelf here, that's the one that you need to select. If we play the track, we're going to look for the sweet spot over here.
Don't stop pushing up to me. Don't stop.
So you see, if I add too much, you will see that it will be too sharp.
Don't stop, 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 stop. And oh, you got me hypnotized. I feel alive. And I won't bring you down. I'ma take you up.
That's enough.
So
Too much is too much. So I always think about something less is more. So now I think all is set, all 5 bands. So let's see how the vocals sit on the mix. I will bypass the EQ and I will add it. So again, try around 8K for high shelf, only boost 1 to 1.5. For high roll off around 18, just cut it 24 dB of reduction per octave to make the room for all the hi-hats, the cymbals, the shakers that you have on the mix. That's it. There is no exact science. You gotta look for the sweet spot What I give you here is like a general idea, but you always gotta work with your eyes and your ears, because if anybody tells you that you can do the whole mix down with your eyes, that's wrong. Believe me, you need your ears. So you gotta train them, and I can guarantee you, more you do this, more it got sharp. I see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching and share the love. See you soon.